It is recommended to use electric chainsaws rather than gas chainsaws. This statement may come off as controversial. Nonetheless, cordless electric saws avoid the majority of the problems that are associated with gas saws. Through the utilization of electricity rather than oil and gas, they significantly cut down on pollution. Additionally, they are less expensive to operate because most of them do not require any maintenance other than the occasional sharpening of the chain. In addition, electric chainsaws do away with the need for carburetors, gasoline lines, spark plugs, and air filters, which eliminates the expense and inconvenience associated with maintaining, cleaning, and replacing these components. Because they do not use gas, the gas will not deteriorate inside the saw. Some saws are also so quiet that they will not only be less disturbing to your neighbors and wildlife, but there is also less of a possibility that they will affect your hearing. They are also quite simple to get started with. This may be what pushes you to make the move if you're someone who only uses it occasionally. After releasing the safety and pulling the trigger with your finger, electric chainsaws are ready to be used. As a result of the absence of a pull cord, there is no requirement to leave a saw idle, which eliminates the need to restart it or maintain the temperature of the gas engine. In a split second, electric chainsaws can be turned on and off. In addition, because they vibrate less when they are turned on, using them is less taxing on the body. When operating an electric chainsaw, exercise extreme caution. At first glance, they may appear to be toys due to the absence of the roar of a gas-powered engine. On the other hand, an electric chainsaw chain may perform the same amount of work as a gas-powered saw, and it can also cause the same amount of damage if it is handled improperly. Operators need to wear the same personal protective equipment, PPE, that they use when operating gas-powered saws. Also, before you use any chainsaw, it is necessary to educate yourself on the correct way to handle and control the chainsaw. Number 14. Planet Westech C550. The C550 is intended for the traditional harvesting of trees and bushes, as well as for the vacants along traffic lanes and routes, and the harvesting of large-scale forest regions. A rotating mechanism is used to navigate the tree to a safe zone once it has been chopped down, and a hydraulic system is used to power the machine that goes through the cutting process. During the process of cutting the tree, the gripper ensures that the tree is held securely. Additionally, it is equipped with auto-speed technology that enhances the speed at which the cutting mechanism may be closed in leap wood. There are a variety of mounting solutions available, such as a tailer, which can be rotated indefinitely through 360 degrees, and a power tiller, which offers increased strength using full torque at the same pace while removing trees. Number 13. The Lumberjack J450. The Lumberjack J450 is a tree shear attachment that is operated by hydraulics and is designed to be used with excavators and other heavy equipment. The combination of a powerful shear and a grapple makes it possible to accomplish tree felling and processing effectively. Trees with diameters of up to 45 centimeters can be managed by it. To process thicker loads after felling, several variants come equipped with a hydraulic chainsaw. The attachment is capable of rotating over a full 360 degrees, allowing for perfect control over the tree that has been cut down. Because the shear blade is recessed within the arm, the chance of damage occurring during handling is significantly reduced. This is how it operates. Through the utilization of a fast coupler, the Lumberjack J450 is attached to the arm of the excavator. To position the attachment near the trunk of the tree, the operator makes use of the controls of the excavator. The grapple can securely clamp onto the tree trunk. The shear blade, which is powered by hydraulics, quickly closes, neatly severing the tree trunk. After that, the excavator can utilize the grapple to rotate through 360 degrees to position the tree that has been felled in a secure spot, sort the tree trunk in preparation for further processing, and position the tree trunk so that the optional chainsaw unit can cut it into logs. Number 12. Ryobi RY 40580 Battery-Powered Chainsaw. We found the RY 40580 to be a good, fast-cutting saw, with an ability to hang in there during difficult cuts without tripping the thermal overload switch. You can be confident in its ability to handle the yard work you need to do. We particularly appreciated several of its features, like its long bar reduces the amount of stooping you do to get at wood you need to cut. Also, it's equipped with a chain brake, not merely a front handguard, to protect you against kickback. Finally, its rapid charger is 4 times faster than a standard one. You can do a lot of cutting with this saw. Take a rest break and put sufficient charge on the battery to cut some more. We found that it leaks oil while not in use, but there are steps you can take to reduce that, such as storing the saw without bar oil and turning down its adjustable oiler. Ryobi has been unleashed in their development of the HP brushless line, and we've been impressed with the improvement on the OP side. With the Ryobi 40 VHP brushless 18-inch chainsaw, we want to know how well it stacks up against the other 18-inch models we have used. It takes some serious muscle to cut effectively with an 18-inch bar. It's a size that represents some of the best gas-powered models for homeowners and gets into the farm and ranch sector. Those are very different power levels, though, and we set out to see which end Ryobi fits in. With solid branches up to 14 inches in diameter, it was a great test for this saw. When we first pulled the trigger, it did not sound like we were getting quite as much chain speed as other 18-inch saws we have reviewed. However, its power was evident as we cut through our oak, getting into the center where the wood is most dense and at its thickest diameter. As we continued, it became clear that this saw's torque offers more muscle than we expected. There's a pretty nice blow-molded case that comes with this chainsaw, with the scabbard over the bar and chain. It sits down into the case, where it has some additional protection during transport. It also keeps any oil from getting all over the place. Clean it out and let it dry from time to time so it doesn't build up too much. We found the RY 40580 to be a good, fast-cutting saw with an ability to hang in there during difficult cuts without tripping the thermal overload switch. Number 11. There is a Greenworks GS 18182V 18-inch chainsaw. The Greenworks 18-inch bar GS 181 chainsaw is capable of performing any operation that a prosumer still is capable of, including down mature ash and maple trees as well as bucking up the log. This chainsaw caused us to reevaluate our decision to purchase a gas saw. With its help, we were able to fall and cut 4 cords of firewood without ever having to resort to our gas saw. In addition to having the power and torque of a 50 gas engine, the Greenworks GS 181 is equipped with a brushless electric motor that is more dependable, efficient, and cost-effective. A 4Ah82V battery is used to power it, making it the saw with the largest battery among those on this list. There is a remarkable lifespan for the battery. Both its performance in the tool and its charging efficiency were optimized by Greenworks thanks to their efforts. Considering that it is equipped with Bluetooth, we can register it and monitor its functioning. Through the use of Bluetooth, we are always aware of which battery is the original. Additionally, when we lent one to a neighbor, Bluetooth prompted us to get it and return it to them. The motor of the GS 181 offered instantaneous high torque, did not require any maintenance, and did not produce any exhaust cutting while simultaneously reducing vibration and noise. Even though it was an excellent second saw, the saw that came before this one was not capable of cutting down the largest trees. We used it for 2 years. A thinner blade appeared to be too sensitive to be used for felling large hardwoods. This sturdy and strong older brother was able to complete any tree felling, trimming, or log sawing project that we threw its way, including employment in the forestry industry. It was necessary to fill the transparent oil reservoir with chain oil to operate this saw. There was no difficulty in monitoring the chain oil levels on the fly because the reservoir was translucent. This is significant since, in contrast to a gas saw, we did not have to take the oil out and replace it. The process of refueling and refilling the oil on gas saws is often done at the same time. Oil was applied to the bar and chain of the saw by the automatic oiler regularly to ensure that it would last and perform without any problems. We hit the power button that was located above the handle when we were ready to use the saw, and then we were set to go. Simply releasing the lock that is located on the top of the saw and pulling the trigger will cause the saw to come to life and begin spinning the chain. Your upper hand is safeguarded by a chain brake that, when used, brings the saw to a complete halt immediately. By releasing the trigger, the blade will also come to a stop. The 400Ah battery had LED lights that indicated the current battery state as well as the amount of charge that was still available. In addition, it is possible to operate it with Greenworks 250Ah and 500Ah batteries, and Bluetooth batteries are not necessary. A warning light flashed to inform us that the chain brake was engaged. As the saw was forced against the tree, the steel bucking spikes came into contact with the tree, providing leverage and control. The high-quality chain, which was powered by the robust battery and motor, ripped through the wood with the same force as a gas saw, but without any of the pollutants and with a noise reduction that was significantly less disturbing. This saw is designed for use in professional settings and features a metal plate that protects the bottom. This not only makes the saw heavier, but also ensures that the body of the saw will never crack. Adding the new plate to the saw gives it a more robust appearance and makes it seem even more reliable. Because it is quiet enough, we did not feel the need to use hearing protection when performing certain chores. This saw, however, is so large and strong that we decided to wear it regardless. If you are someone who uses a chainsaw regularly and relies on it for chores of varying sizes, there is no better saw than the Greenworks 18-inch GS181. In terms of design and power, it falls somewhere in the middle of an amateur and a professional. In addition, despite its weight, it instills the self-assurance necessary to complete any task. The only saw on this list that is suitable for use in a professional setting is this one. Number 10. A chainsaw kit with a DeWalt XR 12-inch 20-volt battery. This 12-inch saw, which costs $279, is our new go-to for trail work because it is compact and lightweight enough to be carried in a backpack. It limbed trees, took down stud walls, cut down landscaping timbers, and cleaned up winter blowdown. It was a workhorse for the property, a budget-friendly option that is nonetheless capable of doing relatively challenging tasks. It costs less than $300. The saw with a blade of 12 inches was not only lightweight and simple to operate, but it also featured the same safety and convenience features as larger, more expensive saws. The chain brake was only found on one of the sub-14-inch saws that we put through our tests. It had a reservoir that was sealed, which prevented it from leaking even when we were carrying the saw in a pack. It was self-oiling, so it could be used continuously. Manual oiling mechanisms were present in every single one of the other saws in this category that we evaluated. These systems were both untidy and unreliable, although it produced a lot more vibration than larger saws. The low kickback Oregon bar and chain measuring 12 inches was able to accomplish the task. One positive aspect is that the chain could be adjusted without the use of any tools when it became loose. The tool is intended for use in less significant tasks. Rather than being spikes, it featured ridges made of plastic because we utilized this saw for clearing branches, cutting down saplings, and trimming bridge boards the majority of the time. This was not a deal-breaker situation. It took longer than the larger saws that we preferred, but it was capable of cutting down trees that were up to 8 inches in diameter. DeWalt's 20V Max set of tools includes this saw as one of its components. A 5-aught 20V Max battery, a charger, and a bar cover are all included in the set in addition to the tool itself. Number 9. Brushless chainsaw from WEN is the 40,417 40V Max lithium-ion model. As electric chainsaws are still relatively new to the market for power tools, people who are hesitant about making the switch can take advantage of a budget choice that provides a low cost of entry opportunity to find out what all the excitement is about. The WEN 40V Max lithium-ion 16-inch brushless chainsaw, which costs $179, does not ask for a lot and gives a performance that is comparable to that of many of the saws that we have examined up to this point. It is more appropriate for the WEN, which is the ideal garden saw, to be used for brushing out an overgrown lot rather than felling trees. Yet we had no trouble utilizing it for that mission. The 40-volt battery is somewhere in the center of the pack when it comes to e-saws, and we were able to use the WEN for full days of trail work before it needed to be recharged so that we could continue using it. We are fortunate that WEN is aware of when to bring in the big guns when it matters, and the 16-inch Oregon bar is a sight that is very much appreciated on this saw. Even though it is not a particularly powerful machine, the lightweight bar is designed to reduce kickback, and we did not experience any problems with it overheating when we were actively running. As is the case with many power tools, it is essential to take into consideration the brand and system that you will be investing in. Although WEN has several additional 40V lawn and garden tools, the budget brand might not be the tool ecosystem that you want to go all in on. For individuals who are already connected to a well-known battery system, it might be in their best interest to invest the additional money to maintain battery cross-compatibility. However, if you are looking to make a one-time purchase of an electric chainsaw, or if you are just starting with your collection of power tools, the WEN40V Max Lithium-ion 16-inch brushless chainsaw can be the perfect option for you. There is no doubt that it will not put a significant dent in your financial resources, in contrast to other major saws. Number 8. Stihl MSA 220CB. This light to medium-duty 36V Stihl chainsaw, which costs $420, is the first battery-powered chainsaw product from the brand that has a 16-inch bar. It is capable of felling and limbing small and medium-sized trees, and it is excellent for jobs involving softwood. In addition, it is the most powerful electric saw that Stihl has to offer presently. The most significant convenience and safety features are included in this saw, which is constructed to last and has a sturdy design and construction. Stihl claims that its bar and chain remain lubricated while also consuming up to 50% less oil than traditional saws. The system can function by use of 2 ramps that are positioned within the guide bar rail. These ramps are designed to control oil flow and direct oil to the sliding faces of the bar, the chain links, the rivets, and the driver holes. I used my hand to activate the chain brake on the saw, which resulted in the chain being stopped quite quickly. When the saw was pushed back, it would automatically activate. A raised and printed felling stripe was one of the things that stuck out to us the most about this saw. This was a feature that was absent from all of the other saws that we evaluated. When we were chopping down the tree, it provided a visual representation of where the tree would fall, which was both realistic and educational. We were able to regularly check how much chain oil was left and when I needed to refill it thanks to a transparent reservoir. However, the most convenient aspect of this saw was the Stihl Quick Chain Adjuster, which enabled us to adjust the chain tension without the use of any equipment. The MSA 220CB makes use of a brushless electric motor that is both lightweight and small, and it has reduced vibration. The handle was made of a soft rubber that ensured it was easy to grip and comfortable to use throughout the day. Hearing protection was required at all times when using this saw because it was louder than the other saws that we tested, even though it was quieter than a gas saw. This saw was powered by the Stihl AP300S battery, which has a capacity of 7.8 Ah and is the most powerful battery that Stihl has to offer. The capacity of the battery is 25% more than that of the AP300, which results in a longer runtime and gives the battery a better power-to-weight ratio. A wide variety of Stihl products, such as extended reach hedge trimmers, pole pruners, chainsaws, and blowers, are compatible with this product. Number 7. Stihl's 3/8-inch PICCO Super Chain. Stihl's 3/8-inch PICCO Super Chain and a low-profile, low-kickback saw chain with a square-cornered cutter form are included with the saw. These features are designed to reduce chain friction and provide a smooth and clean cut through the material. This saw had one of the most beautiful chains of any saw that we tested. It chopped through small logs with the force and precision that are nearly synonymous with the Stihl brand name. It was like a knife cutting through butter. To gain traction, we used spikes made of metal and plastic that dug into the bark. The saw hesitated even when we were not applying pressure when we were cutting down trees that were 8 inches or larger, even though the bar was quite lengthy. Testing was done on the 16-inch bar saw. On the other hand, taking into account its power, I would purchase this saw with the 14-inch blade instead. Number 6. The Hart Pruning Saw measures 8 inches. One step up from manual loppers, the Hart 8-inch pruning saw is a helpful lawn and garden equipment for modest work around the house and is relatively rarely used. It does not require oil and does not require it. A battery with a capacity of 2 Ah and a rapid charger is used to power the 20V saw. Additionally, the saw is compatible with any 20V battery manufactured by Hart, making it compatible with a wide variety of other Hart instruments. There is a chain tensioning tool built into the handle of the saw, even though it is a light-duty saw. Although there is no chain brake, your hand is protected by a block made of plastic. To help prevent inappropriate sawing practices that could result in kickbacks, Hart does supply a tip guard. While the tip guard was in place, the bar cover was unable to be attached. The frame of the saw was designed to keep the blade elevated above the ground, ensuring that it did not become entangled in the soil when we paused to remove the branches that we had chopped. Number 5. Greenworks 10-inch brushless pole saw. The majority of people consider a pole saw to be in the N+1 category, which means that it is not important. When you finally get the chance to utilize this pole saw, you will wonder how you ever managed to get by without it. This pole saw, which costs $179, is great for maintaining paths and roadways, cleaning up storm damage, pruning fruit and ornamental trees, and getting to broken branches that are higher than you can reach. It comes with a small chainsaw that is attached to the end of a 3-piece pole that reaches up to 10 feet. At the very tip of the pole, the saw, which is equipped with an automatic chain oiler, is positioned at an angle. When sawing above tree limbs, this provides an excellent angle that helps with precision and is also beneficial. The weight of the saw is directed downward by the angled head, which provides gravity-based assistance when cutting. The reach of the 3-section poles, which were 10 feet long, was 11 feet. While adjusting, it twists. By pressing on the release and pulling the trigger in the handle, which is located at the end of the pole that is the furthest away from the saw, we were able to activate the saw. That is also where the battery is located, which assisted in maintaining a low weight and used as ballast to assist in controlling the saw that was located above. If we chopped a limb and it became entangled in the tree, a branch hook that was attached to the base of the saw assisted us in removing it. Furthermore, when we were switching between the pole saw and the chainsaw, we utilized the branch hook to secure the saw in place. Similar to the Greenworks GS 18182V 10-inch chainsaw, the 10-inch pole saw was powered by the same batteries and received its power from the same charger. It is a fantastic instrument for an ambitious homeowner, but it is also capable of managing jobs that are performed by professionals. Number 4. Ryobi 40V HP18 Brushless Chainsaw. With its ability to fall trees and cut firewood, Ryobi's 40V HP 18-inch brushless chainsaw was able to compete with saws that cost significantly more money. Furthermore, it was powerful and aggressive. Even though it was not as powerful or as long-lasting, it is powerful enough for usage in occasional situations and smaller projects, and it provided us with a lot of value for the money. The load-sensing brushless motor of the saw automatically modified the power levels of the saw to conform to the requirements of the cutting task. We made a wedge out of a birch tree that was 10 inches in diameter and then dropped it with complete assurance. A mechanical chain brake not only prevented kickback from occurring, but also enabled us to release the chain whenever we desired to bring the saw to a halt. We were able to easily engage it when we required it, yet it was positioned in a comfortable manner such that we would not accidentally knock it over. Some users of Ryobi saws in the past have expressed their dissatisfaction with the fact that there was insufficient space between the handle and the chain brake, causing the chain brake to engage in an accident. The clear oil reservoir served as a convenient window that enabled us to monitor the amount of oil that was present in our chain. In addition, the tool that was included in the handle was useful for tightening the chain, even though it was smaller than what is often included with a chainsaw. Considering that it clamps into the handle, we never lacked for it. On the other hand, there were times when we needed to extract it from its handle storage location by using a branch or another instrument. The homeowner who requires a saw with a longer bar will find this saw to be an ideal choice because it is capable of cutting down mature trees that are occasionally brought down. However, because it included plastic spikes rather than metal ones and a smaller battery, it was more suitable for use in domestic projects than in industrial operations. While plastic spikes provided some traction on rougher bark, they did not provide sufficient grip to allow the saw to be leveraged. Moreover, the battery did not have sufficient power to support the weight of an entire tree. The saw has a strong grip and is well balanced in its movement. Because the battery is located on the bottom of the saw, our sole problem regarding the design is that it is exposed. The fact that it is recessed into the frame gives it a fragile appearance. Not only does the scabbard cover the bucking spikes, but it also sheaths the bar and chain when the saw is packed away. To transport the saw and ensure that any chain oil that may leak is contained, the scabbard is inserted into the plastic carry case that the saw comes with. When the saw was in use, we were able to store the case in a manner that was not only convenient, but also did not take up any problematic space. While the battery did not have the same longevity as the Greenworks or Stihl batteries, it did have the ability to recharge in a little under an hour, and it is compatible with a wide variety of Ryobi products and chargers. Additionally, it comes with a warranty that is valid for 5 years. Number 3. The Ego Power Plus CS 1800. The Ego Power Plus CS 1800 $330 is a saw that is both lightweight and cheap, allowing you to quickly lop off logs for an evening fire, remove trees for a new trail, or simply keep your bushes controlled in the front yard. Because it is one of the lightest e-saws on this list and has an amazingly extended battery life, we were able to tote this tool deep into the woods for backcountry trail work and complete an endless number of tasks around the house before we had to put it back on to charge. This simple-to-operate saw will make you wonder why you ever used gas guzzlers in the first place, especially for chores that are not overly difficult, but are somewhat challenging. After being taken out of its packaging, this chainsaw is a breeze to operate, and the battery can be charged in a matter of minutes, approximately 30 minutes. Place some chain lubricant in the container, and you will be ready to go. Even though we wish the saw had come with a case to make it more convenient to transport, we were able to get it to some isolated regions for trail construction, and we were surprised by how easy it was to handle in comparison to the power it had. The high-efficiency brushless motor powers it to chop through relatively large trees or branches at a speed of 6,800 revolutions per minute RPM, and the 56V5Ah battery ensures that it continues to operate for a considerable amount of time. With the tool-free chain adjustment, we can make adjustments quickly and easily without affecting our workflow. The 16-inch bar is just about right for the majority of the trail building and house maintenance activities that we come across. We were pleasantly surprised by how quickly it cuts through reasonably large branches and how long the battery lasts while working remotely. Although this saw is not the most powerful or the most powerful saw available on the market, it is one of the most powerful saws. During the testing process, a few drawbacks were found. To be more specific, the plastic bucking spikes are not particularly prominent or sharp, and they do not bite into massive logs very well. This means that you do not get the most effective pivot point to operate with while cutting enormous diameters. In most cases, this is not a significant problem because we use this for smaller logs and branches. Nevertheless, there were a few instances in which it was evident. The fact that it has a rather sluggish wind-up time is not a deal-breaker, but it does slow down the workflow a little bit while it is operating. Putting these minor complaints to the side, the Ego Power Plus CS 1800 is an electric chainsaw that is not only affordable but also lightweight and powerful. It can handle the majority of the jobs that you will encounter around the house or when you are constructing or maintaining a trail. Even though it does not quite measure up to some of the larger and longer saws that we tested, it yet operates adequately and does not put undue strain on your wallet. Number 2. RY 40580 chainsaw, which is powered by a battery. The RY 40580 was a saw that we discovered to be of high quality and capable of cutting quickly. It was also able to continue cutting even when the cuts were difficult without triggering the thermal overload switch. You can have faith in its capacity to assist you with the yard job that you need to complete. Several of its characteristics, such as its long bar, which decreases the amount of stooping you have to do to get at the wood you need to cut, were particularly liked by us. Additionally, it is fitted with a chain brake, which is not just a front hand guard, but also functions to protect you from kickback. In conclusion, its rapid charger is in comparison to a regular charger 4 times faster. It is possible to work with this saw for a considerable amount of time, take a break, and then charge the battery to the point that it can perform additional cutting. If it is not being used, we discovered that it is leaking oil. On the other hand, some measures may be taken to lessen the impact of this, such as putting the saw away without bar oil and lowering the oiler's adjustable setting. Number 1. Batteries are used to power the Works Nitro WDG 385 chainsaw. The hefty side mount motor on the WDG 385 is being supplied by 2 side saddle batteries, each of which has a capacity of 4 amp-hours. As its disc count more than adequately demonstrates, it has the appearance, the feel, and the ability to cut like a sturdy little saw. The swift chain brake, spacious bar oil reservoir, easy-to-grip oil cap, tool-free chain tightening, and well-located button that helps you quickly assess how much charge is remaining are some of the other characteristics that we enjoy about this product. If you have already purchased Works power tools with 20-volt and 40-volt voltages, this chainsaw would be an excellent addition to your collection of tools. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe for more. Drop a comment with your thoughts or suggestions for future topics. Stay safe and see you next time.